morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff Hunt. I'm the director of the Texas Military Forces Museum, also commander of the Texas Military Forces Living History Detachment. And on behalf of all the civilians and military personnel who serve out here at Camp Mabry, we'd like to welcome you to our post and to what we call Close Assault 1944.
The model 1903-03 Springfield. Model 1903 Springfield. This weapon is the K98 Mauser.
The M1 Garand rifle.
They started out with what is called a Gewehr 41, but they eventually moved to a much better version, which is the Gewehr 43, which is the weapon you're seeing displayed over here to your left and behind me.
This is the 1918 A2 Browning automatic rifle, commonly called the BAR.
Is the Thompson submachine gun. We have two of them out here for you to see.
It's the German MP40.
The 1919 A4 Browning air-cooled light machine gun. This is the standard machine gun in the hands of the American soldier on the battlefield of World War II. So the gunner's going to get up, the riflemen stay in place, they covered the withdrawal of the machine gun, and then they pull back one at a time, each guy covering the withdrawal of the other. So that there's always a loaded weapon pointing toward the enemy, there's always fire going at the enemy. Very good idea if you're in retreat.
The weapon we're going to be displaying here is the German MG-34 belt-fed machine gun. In the American Army, the machine gun is a supporting weapon for the riflemen. In the German Army, the riflemen are there to support and protect the machine gun.
What I have behind me here is a 2.36-inch rocket launcher, more commonly known as a bazooka.
As far as infantry used anti-tank weapons, the Americans had the bazooka. The Germans had one very similar to that, only a little larger, called the Panzer Schreck. That was a crew-served weapon, but they needed lots of anti-tank weaponry to combat especially the Russian forces on the Russian front. So they came up with the Panzerfaust. Pulls up on the lever to cock the weapon, and that's also his sight. He looks through the appropriate spot on the sight for the range he wants to fire at, sights over the top of the head.
The music.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't do this to glorify war. We do this to educate. When we created the Living History Detachment, we gave it 3 missions: to educate our fellow citizens, to honor our veterans, and to support our troops. How many veterans, any time period, peace or war, in the audience? Raise your hands, please. Ladies and gentlemen, there are your heroes. Give them a round of applause. Texas Military Forces, very proud to own and operate the Texas Military Forces Museum, to put on programs like this. Of course, this kind of a program would not be possible without the dedication, the skill, the talent of the volunteers who make it possible. These men and women come from all over the state of Texas, from as far away as Houston and Galveston and Beaumont, College Station, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Abilene, right here in Austin. Our tank driver comes in all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana, to drive that tank every time we put on one of these shows.